up. I just watched water go up. It literally went up and then sat there like that.
As you see here, this is St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, and look at the extreme winds that are whipping around there. It'd be one of those situations impossible to stand upright. Trees are swaying around, and there's certainly a lot of those getting knocked over as well. One of the areas certainly that felt quite a bit of impacts from Hurricane Irma. Of course, it continues to move its way on off towards the west-northwest at this point. And here in the U.S., we got some drone video showing some of that slower traffic, almost bumper to bumper here, traffic on 75 as people try to funnel their way on into the Atlanta area, escaping Irma there in Florida. So impacts being felt pretty widespread across parts of the south and the east. All right, let's get to this Hurricane Irma and the very latest on what we've got with it. We've got a hurricane expert, Brian Norcross. And Brian, it's amazing how powerful this thing has remained for so long.
We've never seen a storm like this. Never seen a storm stay so strong for so long anywhere on the earth. On all the typhoons and hurricanes that have been observed, this is the longest duration for a super intense storm. And it is still super intense, even though it's a little bit less than its peak. Take a look at it on the satellite. This reminds me of Typhoon Haiyan when it was coming into the Philippines a few years ago. Incredible. And here it is coming into the Turks and Caicos Islands. So these are the Turks and Caicos here. This is the southeastern Bahamas up here. This is called Cockburn Town. It was a Scottish name, pronounced Cockburn, and that's the capital of the Turks and Caicos. And boy, they are getting what we think is the worst part of this hurricane, with 175 type mile-an-hour winds, and then moving here into the Caicos, the three Caicos Islands, the North, Middle, and the Eastern Caicos. Providenciales, where all the resorts are, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place, is just going to get tremendous hit here in the next few hours. All right, let me see if I can make my system just decided not to go forward on me here. So let me just talk for a second here while we try and get it running. So the issue here, after we get past this storm going through the Turks and Caicos and then through the Bahamas, and the southeastern Bahamas into the central Bahamas are the most intensely threatened by this system. Nassau, there you go. That's Jose. All right, well, all right, hang on a second. There's Hurricane Jose, by the way, which is unfortunately is going to threaten the same islands that were originally hit in the northern Leeward Islands as a very, very strong hurricane. All right, so there you see the cone for Irma. Now, the main message of this is that, okay, here we are. We're back on me here. We don't know what exactly all happened there. But the main message is that all of Florida is threatened. And I wanted to show you the European model just to give you an idea of what we think is going to happen. The first thing is that it's coming near Cuba. This should prove to provide some weakening of the storm. So the thinking is that we're not going to get the 175-mile-an-hour hurricane to come up toward Florida, but it still has very warm water to traverse between where it interacts with Cuba and ends up somewhere up here in Florida. And so it has an opportunity to maintain its strength, and that's why we are very fearful of an extraordinarily strong storm coming toward Florida. The European model this afternoon brings us the storm right into the middle of the Keys, just like Hurricane Donna in 1960, a huge storm. That doesn't mean that's where it's going. It means that all of this, everybody in Florida, needs to be on high alert. All right, Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks, Brian. Well, coming up, we're going to continue to break down the future track of Irma as this dangerous hurricane approaches Florida as well as the southeast U.S.